Good. So good morning.
Morning.
My name is Willie Pope, and I'm the Assistant Director of Student Development at the Center for Multicultural Advancement and Student Success. All right. And I'm the chairperson for the Stand Against Racism Committee. I would like to thank everyone for attending our 4th annual Stand Against Racism event. Also, I would like to thank all the organizations who worked together to make this year's event possible. Those organizations consist of CMAS, Social Justice Education, Women of Color Leadership Network, Student Activities and Involvement, Center for Health Promotions, Commonwealth Honors College, Stonewall Center, Center for Counseling and Psychological Health, Sustainable UMass, College of Social and Behavioral Sciences, UMass Dining, and the Coalition to End Rape Culture. Our theme for our stand this year is Speak Out and Take Action. And your presence here today brings that theme to life. For the past 3 years, representatives of the UMass community have joined the YWCA in their Stand Against Racism movement, which aspires to eliminate racism by bringing people together across communities for one common goal: to raise awareness that racism still exists and to work towards its elimination. As a result of last year's success, the committee decided to extend the program to a week full of events. We kicked off the week with Earth Day keynote speaker Dr. Robert Bullock, who is considered to be the father of environmental justice. Then we followed up with a viewing of the film White Like Me and a discussion regarding white privilege facilitated by UMass faculty member Dr. Sut Jolly, founder and executive director of the Media Education Foundation. We also had an engaging identity bias workshop led by the Amherst NAACP chapter president Kathleen Anderson and treasurer Michael Burkhardt, coupled with a student banner making activity. See the banners here? So today we are happy to have Mary Reardon Johnson, Executive Director of the YWCA of Western Massachusetts, to provide historical background and purpose of the movement. Also, we are here to show our support for a community member, graduate student, and Amherst High School math teacher, Carolyn Gardner, who we asked to be the marshal of our silent walk. She will share a few words regarding her experiences. Some of the logistics of the march: after the speakers have their opportunity to speak, we will march through campus, through the campus center, back down North Pleasant, and then up to Wilder Hall, where there'll be refreshments so people can have something to eat before you enter the various workshops that we have planned for you today. So without any further delay, I give to you Miss Mary Johnson.
Thank you, Willie. So today you join with over 3,000 other organizations and over 300,000 other people who are standing against racism. The YWCA in the United States was established around in the early 1860s. Do we remember what was happening in this nation in the 1860s? The answer is the Civil War. It took us, the YWCA, until the 1950s to desegregate. And even then, what we realized is that the women of color involved in our movement really resisted desegregation until they were sure that they could still have positions of leadership and power within the YWCA. It took us another 20 years to understand that all of the critical issues we were trying to address were rooted in institutional racism, and so accepted our one imperative: to work towards the elimination of racism wherever it exists by any means necessary. Still, there was resistance among some YWCAs across the nation to to accept the one imperative as part of their mission. And so, 20 years ago, we actually put it in our brand. Every YWCA must have the brand of the YWCA, the logo of the YWCA, which is YWCA, Eliminating Racism, Empowering Women. So why does the nation's largest and oldest women's organization have such an imperative? And why do we put eliminating racism ahead of empowering women? The answer is, you cannot empower women. You cannot empower all women until you first work towards the elimination of racism. The YWCA is dedicated to working towards the elimination of racism and the empowerment of women, and we join with the World YWCA in promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. I've been with the YWCA for 31 years. I am inspired by our history of struggling with this issue. And struggle we do. Because we are still predominantly middle-class white women looking to do good works. And we need to understand and accept the challenge before us. That again, as one author once said, white privilege is not having to worry about racism every day. White privilege is wearing an invisible backpack with a Marauders map inside, with passports and passcodes. We're born with this. Our YWCA is located in Holyoke, Springfield, Westfield, Northampton. About 10 years ago, we conducted a $8 million capital campaign to build a new YWCA in Springfield. I am absolutely sure that that building would not exist if I were not an older white woman. Simply, racism, again, is alive and well. And unless we as a group and as individuals stand against it, understand it, it's not going to go away. To the white people who are here, your privilege is your responsibility. It is not the responsibility of the people of color to explain this to you. It is your responsibility. And the sooner you figure it out, the sooner you understand it, I promise you, the better the world is going to be. So on behalf of the YWCA, we are really thrilled that UMass, although I'm a little concerned that I learned that we're 90% white, I'm thrilled that the UMass community is standing against racism, and I will send T-shirts to our national office in Washington, D.C. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. So I believe Carolyn is being interviewed by Channel 22. Oh, done? Okay, great. So next we will have Carolyn Gardner come and share a few words. And we asked her to be the marshal of our march, so after that, after her few words, then we'll begin the march and have her hold our banner. And because we do have a nice, big, huge banner that says UMass CMass stands against racism. And then we'll start the march. Here you go.
Thank you for having me here. I'm not quite sure what I did to deserve the title of marshal, but I feel like anybody that is standing here, anybody that stands against racism, could very well be the marshal of a walk like this. I'm absolutely honored, though, that you have invited me to be here. I did nothing but be a math teacher in an institution that is predominantly white, and pretty much enforce my philosophy in that I believe in the advocacy that goes hand in hand with the practices that are necessary to support students that are marginalized in mathematics. And traditionally that has been black and brown students. And so I went into the school, just being Carolyn, in the mathematics classroom, building communities between all students. And I started in September at Amherst Regional High School, and pretty much in September is when the attack started. You've read about most of them. I don't really have to go into a whole lot of detail, but I would want to say that I would hope that I am much more than what has gone on in the high school that has directed toward me. I come into the high school having graduated here, undergraduate, and now I am a doctoral student here at the university in mathematics education. I first majored in chemical engineering, so I know a little bit about where mathematics could take you. And I know that the groups here represent all fashions of racism. I am speaking directly against institutional racism. And so I went into the classroom, I believe highly qualified, award winner in teaching excellence in Northampton High School. And so I can't see why it would be a personal attack against my profession or what it is that I do, except for what I look like and for what I represent in terms of the students of color in the school. And so I am really honored that you have, you've decided to come out in this fashion. I believe that this is what it's going to take. The fight didn't start when I was attacked. It's not starting today. The fight started long, long ago. And this is what it's going to take, is us continuing and our renewed efforts in fighting against this robust structural racism in order for us to see change. And so my message to you is to stick with it. Stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. We're beginning to see little changes, at least in my school. I'm back at school. I went back. And so my fight is in the classroom, and I hope in your respective groups that your fight continues in whatever fashion. Let's get racism crumbled.
Thank you, Carolyn. So once again, I want to thank everyone who is here today. As I said, our theme is speak out and take action. And by your presence being here, it really, really lends prudence to that statement. So without any further ado, we will start our march. Please pick up the signs. Please make sure that you have a T-shirt. This is a silent march, in reason. We're not trying to disturb anyone. We will be going through the campus center, so we're going to go down past the library, through the campus center, back down North Pleasant Street, and then up to Wilder Hall, where all the different workshops that you can participate in, and there is refreshments there, so there is something at the end of the line. All right. So thank you, and we'll follow the banner. We will follow the banner.